Hi everyone, this is Molly from Barnes Sewing Center, and today we are doing our Foot of the Month video. Now since we have skipped a couple months, we are doing the 5-foot embellishment pack from Brother. However, this will also of course work on any of your baby lock or 7mm machines. So the 5 feet that we will be going through today are the Stitch in the Ditch foot, the roller foot, the edge joining foot, the piping foot, and the gathering foot. So join me as we go through these 5 feet. Come on. Alrighty, so the first presser foot we'll be doing today is the Stitch in the Ditch presser foot. So when I say ditch, what I'm referring to is a little term that us quilters will use to refer to the ditch of our quilts, or where our seams will meet. So each one of these lines is considered a ditch, okay? So for our Stitch in the Ditch foot, it has a tiny black finger that goes along the ditch and helps you stay in line. All right, so let's go ahead and attach this to our machine. Now this presser foot will also help whenever you're attaching binding to your quilts, or if you would like to do 1/8 of an inch away from your ditch as well. So once our presser foot is on, all we need to do is use a center straight stitch, and I am using the Brother XP1 today. We're going to lower our presser foot, and now all we have to do is stay in line with that ditch. So I am just going to stitch straight on down. Alrighty, so once we do that first one, you can see how nice is that. So now all 3 of my layers are sewn together, but I really can't see my stitch. So that is the beauty of the Stitch in the Ditch foot, or the Stitch in the Ditch technique. So this presser foot is super duper helpful for any of us quilters out there. And then when we go to attach our binding, all we need to do is I'll just kind of fold that edge over, and I'm going to be keeping that same presser foot on. Fold that over, and instead of stitching in the center needle position, I am just going to go ahead and scooch my needle over just a pinch, so that I am just barely grabbing that binding. And we're going to go ahead and stitch that out one more time. Awesome. So there we have. Now obviously you would use a matching thread color, but just so you can see, we have our stitch. So you can use the Stitch in the Ditch foot whether it's for the actual ditch of your quilt, or if you'd like to do some easy and quick binding. How cool is that? So the next presser foot we'll be doing is the roller foot. So the roller foot helps you sew through sticky fabrics like vinyl, leather, or any other specialty fabrics that may need a little bit more help getting fed through. All it has is these two little roller balls on the very back of the presser foot, and those will help feed those more tricky fabrics right through. So we're just going to attach this as usual. So once the presser foot is attached, we're just going to grab, this is just some sticky faux leather, so some pleather, and it's this real kind of shiny red color. So we're just going to place this right underneath our presser foot and lower. And now we're just going to sew it like it was normal fabric. Now obviously I want a nice sharp needle in so that it's going to be able to punch through this leather. So let's go ahead and sew that out. So there we have it. So even through both layers of that leather, it didn't hold up, it didn't catch, it just sewed beautifully through it. So just like it was a normal cotton or any other fabric. Once again, really, really helpful and super cool. So the next presser foot we will be doing is the edge joining foot. So the edge joining foot is this presser foot here, and kind of similar to the stitch in the ditch, it has a black metal fin in the very center. So this will help in a different way. This foot is used to join two pieces of fabric or possibly a lace or maybe even a trim together. So we're just going to attach that presser foot. So once the presser foot is attached to the machine, we are just going to take our fabric and line it up on the left-hand side of that fin, and then take our lace, trim, or other fabric and line it up on the right side of the fin. And now we can lower that presser foot. So once that has lowered, all I have set on my machine is a zigzag stitch with the width at 4.5 millimeters. So once that is all set, we are just going to get sewing. So once that has sewn through, once again, you would be using a matching thread color, of course, but you can see how nicely that has joined our two edges together. And I don't have any excess bulk because I am not folding those fabrics on top of one another. So really, really nice presser foot and super easy to use and a beautiful finish as well. So that is the edge joining presser foot. So the next foot we will be doing is the piping foot. The piping foot has two grooves on the back that help feed piping easily through to create your own gorgeous covered cording, or you could make attach your piping to a pot holder or even a decorative pillow. So we're just going to go ahead and attach that presser foot. And all I need to do is wrap my piping in the fabric that I'd like. And if this was going into a project, you would wrap that around as well at this point. And now I am just going to place it underneath. And we want to make sure that piping is nice and snug. And place that right underneath the presser foot so that it is right inside the groove. And for this piping, I am using the groove on the right-hand side. And then all I need to do is use a center needle position straight stitch, and we're just going to sew right over this piping. So there you have it. Gorgeous piping in just a minute using that piping foot. And it's so easy. You're never going to have the piping slipping. And those channels really help keep you straight to get you the nicest and most attractive finish possible. Alrighty, so the last presser foot we will be doing today is the gathering foot. So I've already went ahead and attached it to our machine. Now this is a shank attaching presser foot, which means that you'll have to take off your sewing ankle, which is this piece, to put this presser foot on. So once it is attached, this foot is used to create beautiful gathers on your light to medium weight fabric. So this is on some cotton. So as you see at the end here, I kind of tightened that tension a little bit. And with this foot, the upper tension is actually the part that you need to adjust the most, as well as the length of your stitch. So towards the beginning, I was working with a looser to normal tension and a shorter length. And then at the end, I was working with a longer length and a higher tension. So you can see what a difference it made there. And I'm just going to go ahead and ruffle the other side of this fabric here. So I just have a strip of fabric, and whether you're just ruffling one layer or if you're ruffling and attaching it to something, this foot is the perfect choice. Alrighty, so for the gathering foot, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our fabric to be gathered, and that is going to go all the way underneath our presser foot, and I can go ahead and lower that. And then I'm going to take whatever fabric I want to attach that ruffle to, and I'm going to place that good sides together, and I'm going to feed it through the presser foot, so through that little slit and all the way to the back. There we go. And then I usually drop my needle just to tack them in place. And once that's all set, you just want to go nice and slow and stitch these layers together. You don't want to push or pull on the fabric or else the gathers won't form. So let's get started. Alrighty. And once you are all done, you should have beautiful gathers like this, okay? How awesome is that? And they're perfectly even and super duper easy. All right, so that is the gathering foot for your brother or Baby Lock sewing machine. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson just as much as I did. Once again, this was the 5-foot embellishment pack from Brother or Baby Lock. This was our gathering foot, piping foot, roller foot, edge joining foot, and stitch in the ditch. Join us next time when we talk about another new and exciting presser foot, and have a wonderful day.